We are here. Our bags are stacked. Our bags are getting pumped right now. I have been calling everything this entire bull run. I called spring market 2 years ago. Bitcoin at $15,000. Been buying it between 15 and 30. We just hit. I called $100,000 Bitcoin before 2025, and we hit it the other night. I am just flawless on the execution on these trades. A lot of people are completely blindsided about what the actual goal is. The real goal is how can you accumulate as much Bitcoin as humanly possible throughout the next decade as we enter this Bitcoin gold rush. And yes, altcoins are great. They get pumped at astronomical numbers. We make supreme games, and it's going to be printing out millionaires through 2025, and I plan on being one of those guys. However, at the end of the day, most of us are going to end up as losers. And if you don't know what you're doing, number one, you're going to lose, and number two, if you don't have a true goal, a true objective, and there's one primary objective here, and if you aren't on the line of this objective, the entire reason you're doing this is completely out the front door. And the entire reason you should be doing this is to accumulate as much Bitcoin as humanly possible. The only reason why I'm involved in the altcoin market, the degen market, is to outperform Bitcoin so that I can buy more Bitcoin. That is the sole purpose of me being here, of me existing in this market. Otherwise, I would just be dollar cost averaging Bitcoin, working on my real estate business, and I'd be increasing my production of fiat, and then I'd be converting my fiat into Bitcoin, that of which I'm already doing. But I'm involved in the altcoin market because I see an opportunity to get involved and get supreme games in an overhypey market. And at the end of the day, most of these are going to zero. Most of you guys are going to lose. And if you are not solely focused on that primary objective of accumulating as much Bitcoin as possible, then you're clearly not in crypto for the right reason. Now, all in all, I'm a degenerate. I'm 21 years old. Yes, I have a gambling addiction. That's exactly why I'm here. And yes, I am not a financial advisor. None of this is financial advice. I'm actually throwing a disclaimer because my last video blew up, and a couple people threatened to sue me. You need to understand pumpamentals in this market, and that my last video was about pumpamentals. And this video is going to be about what bags are pumping next. We have the most fun part of this market upcoming. We've just begun altcoin season, and our bags are just starting to see some movement, and we're going to begin seeing 10, 20, 30, 50x gains over here. And the question is, where are those gains going to be? Are you going to be missing out? Are you going to be the exit liquidity? Or are your bags already positioned properly to profit at astronomical numbers when these markets begin to rally? Because what we've seen so far this market is we saw a rally in the meme market. And I'm not involved in the meme market because there's no utility with memes. They are obvious Ponzi schemes that are just built on social media narrative hype. And when when a meme blows up, the price goes up. There's no utility. You can't predict. I mean, you can predict, but the thing is that market is controlled by big money, by whales that of which run communities. They run the narratives on the internet. They run the mainstream narratives, and they have a lot of control over that market. Now, it's very hard and unpredictable, and I'm not willing to set a big position on a meme coin that of which is controlled by big money and a narrative that's controlled by a group of people. Now, what I can do is I can find a token that has real underlying utility and also fits a narrative that's very hypey, and I'm comfortable positioning a huge bag and waiting till the end of the bull run for my bags to pump. Because at the end of the day, the utility bags pump at the end of the bull run. We saw this last time, and we're seeing it again. And it's just starting over the last 2 weeks. And the market we're talking about is, of course, the AI market. The AI bags are going to rally. And here's where I want to begin. Because, yes, I do follow Alex Becker. He understands what he's doing. And I get a lot of information from this guy. But I've been involved. I rode the 2021 bull market. I made and lost a lot of money that bull market. And I'm here, I'm in position, and the AI market is about to absolutely pump. Now, what I have in front here is a list that Binance Square launched. Is essentially the top 10 AI cryptocurrencies that have been searched on the internet in 2024. And I hold about 5 of these. And yes, I'm up 200 to 300% on all of those over the last 30 days. And yes, Binance, these centralized exchanges, they have their bags stacked, and they just can't help themselves here. They just can't help themselves to list these things, because what they're going to do is they're going to list the AI tokens next. Yes, the meme market absolutely exploded. Yes, centralized exchanges listed dog with hat, and they made a ton of money. And they're looking at what is the next hypiest market, the hypiest narrative that we can launch in our exchanges and pump our own bags, and that's going to be the AI market. And they're set to explode. The market's already initiated the takeoff, and these coins are about to get listed on mainstream centralized exchanges, where of which most of you are probably going to be buying them, and I'm going to be liquidating my bags on you. So what you need to understand is you need to be positioned here before these things go mainstream, because they're about to go mainstream, and that's what we're here doing, predicting this. If we see here, this was Galacoin. Yes, I bought Galacoin in 2021 for 2 cents. And right here, in November, it got added to Coinbase. My mom bought Galacoin. I don't even know how she even discovered what Galacoin was until I realized it was on the homepage of everyone's Coinbase account, and it was marketed to the mainstream retail. And yes, did they make a ton of money from it? They did. And you know what? I made a solid. I was in at 2 cents, and I sold at 70. It maxed out at like 74. Yeah, I sold this bag at 70 cents. Yes, I understand. I'm great. I'm nearly flawless. I've predicted everything that has happened from spring market starting almost 2 years ago at $15,000 Bitcoin. Yes, I predicted $100,000 Bitcoin before 2025. Yes, I am almost always right, but I've never made a trade that's so flawless where I sold it at the peak. Because here's the thing. The goal isn't to actually sell and drop these bags at the peak. You want to be selling throughout the pump, because we really don't know when these things are going to cap out. We don't know when they're going to sell off. And the goal is to get an average on the multiplier, where yes, if you sold it at the peak from 2 cents, you hit no, that's not even a 15x, that's like a 30x. Yes, you hit a 35x. However, the goal isn't to hit the peak, because that's almost impossible, if not impossible. But the goal is to average the sells throughout the bull and then into the downside, where you're going to average, instead of that 35x, you average the 15x. And that's the objective with these tokens. But we have the AI narrative coming up. It is the pumpiest market to exist. So here are my current holdings. I will be selling throughout all of 2025. I am fully exposed to the altcoin market. The only 2 niches I'm focused on is 1, AI, and 2, gaming. They both have the most amount of utility, and the AI market has the most pumpiest narratives humanly possible, between what Tesla's doing, between the history track record of NVIDIA stock. I mean, if we just look into NVIDIA over the last 5 years, it's up 2,600%. And the reason why is because these big tech companies, Google, Microsoft, these AI, OpenAI, they need large amounts of computing power. And right now they're competing, buying up NVIDIA chips, trying to create the largest computing power, the largest data centers of computing power, so then they can operate all of these AI networks that are going to be running the world in the future. And these AI cryptos, they essentially allow people to rent out computing power to SaaS companies or other companies throughout the entire world, that of which, instead of buying and having a large upfront expense, these businesses can essentially rent computing power through a decentralized network, and people who have computing power that of which they can't utilize at the moment, they can get rewarded and paid for essentially lending their computing power out to somebody else. And this has real world utility. So does crypto gaming. People value consumables and in-game assets. And this has always been a thing. I mean, we had Counter-Strike on Steam, and this is just better infrastructure, better software for essentially gaming studios to enable players to partake, not just partake in their game, but also securely hold their own value and exchange their value with other players within that digital realm. But the other thing about AI is it has the pumpiest narrative. AI is the future. Everyone knows this. Everyone wants to be exposed to AI. Everyone wants to invest in AI. And when the centralized exchanges, when Binance makes these products go mainstream, it is going to take off way stronger than the meme market at substantial levels. And we've already seen, and I've made these call outs, but here are my bags here. We have Node AI, 0x0, Parallel, Destra, Echelon Prime, Pal AI, and Altura. And even if we just take a look at a couple of these, Echelon Prime, last month we're up 102%. We look at Destra, last month we're up 168%. We look at 0x0, last month we're up 307%. Pal AI, I think we're up about 50 something percent, 32%. If we look at, this is one of my favorite ones, Node AI, GPU, we're up 204%. Our bags are absolutely pumping, and these narratives haven't even gone mainstream yet. And if we look at the total volume, I mean, we're just passing the previous market cap. But this is nothing for me to be concerned about in any way, shape, or form, because the entire AI market is the same market cap of Dogecoin, of one meme coin. We have one meme coin at the same valuation as the entire AI market. And the entire AI market has way more upside potential and real world utility and a way hypier narrative. I mean, Dogecoin has a pretty hype narrative. The Department of Government Efficiency you can't beat that narrative, I'll be completely honest. However, the AI narrative is the top narrative. It beats the meme coin narratives out of the park by a mile. So I am positioned in AI. I'm not telling you to be positioned on AI. I'm not telling you to do anything I'm doing, because none of this is relatively smart. None of this is smart. We're investing in degenerate internet coins, that of which are pegged to whatever the and we're betting on startup companies and teams in a totally pump narrative, social media marketing driven economy. And none of this is financial advice. And the reason we're all really here, the reason why we're doing this, is because this is like the first chance we have to make some good money. I mean, what other opportunities do we have in our generation? I mean, yes, the US dollar is going to shit. Yes, the government is printing money. Yes, we practically started World War III. And what other options does anyone have at the end of the day? Everyone, when this stuff goes mainstream, is just going to be winging it. They're going to be throwing their money at this stuff, just like they do when the lottery hits $1 billion. Everyone buys a lottery ticket and the price goes parabolic. That is exactly what's going to happen with crypto, with the degen, with the altcoin market. And the money flows are going into AI, especially when these centralized exchanges begin launching these tokens to the mass market. And that's where I'm going to be positioned to sell. And I'm ready for it. I'm here. I'm locked and loaded, baby. Our bags are already up about 200, 300% on average over the last month. We are so set for massive gains. And if you're distracted with fully exposure to XRP, you're good luck competing against me, because I'm so confident I'm going to outperform your bag. I am so confident. At the end of the day, remember, this is a player versus player game. One person cannot make money without another 9 losing their bags. And 95% of us are going to be losers, and 5% are going to steal the money of the other 95%. The question is, who are you going to be? Are you going to be the winner, or are you going to be the loser? Who are you going to be? And if you're in right now, as long as you sell sometime in 2025, you're going to be up. These things are sitting at 100 mil, 200 mil, 400 mil M caps, and memes are trading at multi-billion-dollar M caps. These are easy 10, 20, 30, maybe even 50x's on the huge upside. And we're hopefully going to be averaging 10 to 20x on most of these trades. And I don't trade, I don't day trade, I don't buy, I don't swing trade, I don't buy and sell. I bought these things between 30 days ago and a year ago. And I'm holding these coins for the next 3 to 6 months, maybe 8 to 10 months. And I'm going to be selling my positions. I'm fully exposed to the market. I won't be trading a thing for another 3 to 6 months at least. And I'm going to be liquidating my bags on the rest of the market. But I am here to maximize my Bitcoin holdings. The only reason why I'm playing the game in the altcoin market is because I think that I know something that most people don't. And I am confident in what I believe. And I'm putting my money where my mouth is. And I believe that I can outperform Bitcoin at a massive multiplier in the altcoin degen market, and betting on AI and gaming coins and liquidating my bags during the bull run. And I think that I can outperform Bitcoin, and that will enable me to accumulate more Bitcoin, because that's the goal at the end of the day. Bitcoin, if I may get into my little Bitcoin spiel, Bitcoin is going to become the reserve asset of the world. Everything is going to be priced against the Satoshi. This may happen over the series of decades. However, I am a true believer that there is no better form of money, currency, store of value, transfer of value than there is on the Bitcoin network. And I think that with what the United States plans on doing with the reserve, especially with the success of El Salvador, game theory is going to take effect. And game theory essentially explains that once one person or one company or one government takes on a winning strategy, the rest of its competitors has to take on that strategy in order to remain competitive and win. And if the United States initiates a Bitcoin reserve, that means that every other country in the entire globe, in the entire world, is going to have to focus their attention on accumulating Bitcoin in order to remain competitive, in order to remain somewhat competitive. And we've already seen this happening since Bitcoin's creation. We're going to continue seeing this happen with the adoption of nation states and institutions. And that is that everything is going to zero against Bitcoin. Real estate, groceries, rent, everything, life expenses, everything is going to zero against Bitcoin. And that trend is going to continue with the with nation state adoption of Bitcoin. There's a set supply. There will never be more than 21 million Bitcoin. Over 19 million of that 21 million is already in circulation. The last 2 million won't be created until over the next 100 years. So therefore, there is no more Bitcoin left. The only way for you to obtain Bitcoin is to buy it off of someone else. And with the entire world adopting this stuff over a short period of time, the only thing more demand will do is simply drive price up. It is that simple. So we're here in the altcoin market. The goal is to accumulate as much Bitcoin. That is my primary objective. That is why I'm involved in the altcoin market. And I truly believe that I can I truly believe that I can outperform the Bitcoin uptrend by being exposed during peak bull run in the gaming and AI niche market of the altcoin space. And that is the objective here. All right. That's the end of the video. To all of you XRP haters on my last video, yes, I do have common sense. And yes, there's no reason to be fully exposed to XRP at this point because it already has a $150 billion valuation. I might as well throw those bags into a nice $300 million AI coin that's going to hit at least a $2 to $3 billion MCAP and get a solid 10 to 20x. I'd so much rather do that, especially when these gets listed on exchanges.